Today, President-elect Joe Biden held an uncomfortable conversation with first responders about the threat that they are facing in terms of job cuts and the pressure that COVID 19 has placed on them and their families. I'm so happy that he is confronting this issue because it is something that needs to be addressed by the president. I'm happy to hear that President-elect Biden is advocating to Washington to invest in a strategy to keep states and localities fully funded so that they do not have to cut jobs for police and firefighters, healthcare workers, because these are the people that are literally keeping us going amidst the COVID-19 pandemic. So I join him in his call to urge Washington, don't turn your back on us now. Focus on average Americans and make sure that we get the help that we need to keep our first responders funded, but also keep our families safe. Meanwhile, President Trump continues his effort to reverse the results of the general election. Now, while he may be legally entitled to challenge the process, I just want to emphasize the nightmare election scenario that JP Morgan Chase has just called out. The possibility of President Trump winning at the Electoral College and upending the results of the general election. This has happened, or at least the attempts have been made at least once or twice in history, but it always seems to work out where the winner of the general election has become our next president. So with that said, I just know that you have to give more attention to what's going on with these legal battles on the general election, as they're not just designed to reverse the general election results. They're designed to delay the certification of elections so that it impacts the Electoral College. That's where the real election takes place in December, and it reveals a real need for us as Americans to revisit our election laws, our campaign finance systems, and how we go about making these choices, because the rules are very complicated. And as you can see, they shift and twist and turn with whoever has enough money to wage these court battles, to challenge the law or apply it by those in power as they see fit. So what you can do is take every step to pay attention to what's going on and watch the states that are battling these election certification efforts, and urge your friends and family that you know live in these states where this is taking place to pay attention and advocate that a fair and transparent process plays out so that no vote is left out and not counted. We want to make sure that we protect our democracy by every stretch of the imagination, because after all, we're America. We're the greatest country on earth, and we have to continue to demonstrate that. Never forget that love trumps hate, and never forget that good must confront evil. And while it is difficult to watch some of these things play out, let's not forget the real goal and the real mission is to protect our children and our families. We have to invest in education, invest in the infrastructure of testing so that kids can stay in school and people can go to work. So these are the things, these are the priorities that we need to focus on. And I was happy to hear President-elect Biden talk about them, especially urging Washington to just focus on Main Street, focus on education, provide that bridge, provide that funding so that we can continue to move forward on opening up our country again. Now, there's an ominous mark that was just hit, 250,000 fatalities lost in America to COVID-19. My heart goes out to all the families that suffered a loss. But 11 million Americans with the virus is something that we have to reverse. That's what our focus must turn to. And as we look ahead and stare COVID down as it's rising in cases around the country, testing is really the answer. We have to find a way to implement massive daily testing so that we can track the virus, trap it, and take every precaution to isolate it so it does not come back. But again, that's been a task that has been escaping everyone. Why? A combination of reasons. We can point the finger, but just focus on the solution. Let's not look back. Let's not try and cast blame. Let's figure out how to lock arms and get this virus eradicated. And I look forward to us taking those steps going forward amidst all the drama and the distractions coming from the presidential election. If you have any questions, comments, Love to hear from you. Hit that like button, but also subscribe so that we can have more conversations in the future.